Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and we're going to do a quick overview of the Shodan. We may come back and do a more full-length video later, but I have been really pressed for time lately. But I want you to be able to see the knife because Bestech has done us great, and hopefully done you guys great. So, first up, we have the gray model, and to go along with the gray model, we have carbon fiber on one side, stonewash gray on the other, brushed finish on the blades, and then we have the stealth model, of course, one of my favorites, all stealthy, all black, and then we have the stealth model with marble carbon fiber on it, and that is super cool. Little things that Bestech did that I really like is the Todd knife and tool on the pivots. Looks really good, but not taking away from Bestech because they got Bestech right there on the blade as well. And that's what we asked them to do, and they friggin' did it. Little details. See the chamfers. Let's see if we can get it focused. The chamfers on those three little holes. See how shiny that is? Well, that is an after coloring or stonewashing process that they were willing to do for us. Little things that just give you that little bit of extra, man, that's cool on the knives. Another major thing that we asked for them, we'll use this one because they really stand out, was to use flat top screws instead of the button tops. And there you go. They did it. All flat top screws all the way through the knife. Very nice, really nice looking. And it's all those little things that whenever you're talking about knives in the price category that we're talking about, it's all those little things. And like I said earlier, I don't know the price. If someone does see the price at Blade HQ or White Mountain Knives or something, please let us know what the price is, and I will tag your comment so it'll stay at the top, because I'm doing this video before I see any pricing on these. And another little detail is that brushed blade, or not brushed, but kind of a belt satin blade. We asked them to do that with the malware. They came through with this one too. Looks great. So, specs on the knife were a 3.85 inch blade length, so it is a biggin'. Definitely not a small knife. We'll set a couple of these out and we'll throw this guy there in the middle. That's your Rat Model 1. And there is a Spyderco Mantra 2, about the size of a Delica. These are big knives. 3.85 inch blade lengths, 3.35 inch cutting edge. This forward finger choil is about 0.9 inches across. So definitely a heavier, harder use knife from Todd Knife and Tool and Bestech. Another spec people are going to be interested in, but this is a big knife, guys. Your hand's going to fit on it. It is about 4 inches from here to here. So any big old meat grinder you got ought to friggin' fit over that knife. Now let's look at some of the little things. We'll use this one because it's maybe a little easier to see. We have our cutouts right here. This is a landing zone for your finger so that you don't just run your finger up and down the knife. Makes it a little easier to flip the knife all day if that's what you do. And makes it a little more positive once you flip that knife, a positive place for your finger to stop. Whenever you look at our knives from side to side, these two slabs, the lock side slab and the show side slab, are mirrored. So that means there's no raise or lower here. That's for two reasons. First off, it's so that whenever if you do torque with a knife, which you shouldn't be, but if you do, you don't have that tendency to unlock the knife like we've seen in other knives in the past, and maybe knives currently, I don't know. And secondly is for ambidexterity. Ambidextrousness? See, you can use it with either darn hand, that's what. And that's also why there are these cutouts right here on both sides. A little harder to see in the carbon fiber, but it's there if we bring this one up, we can see that they are in both sides. And why that matters so much, we're not sure. However, if you take them out of there, it is harder to unlock the knife for some, I don't know, reason. But that's why they're in pretty much every knife we design, are those two little cutouts right there, so that you have an indexing point, and it makes it a little easier to unlock the knife with either hand. And that is one thing that if you listen to us on the Knife Junkie podcast, that's one thing we're doing. We know that with the knife companies, we may not be able to get tip up left or right hand, even though Bestech has done that for us in the past with the malware. So we try to make it, even though it's right hand carry, we try to make the knife as ambidextrous as possible, because Seth and I are both essentially ambidextrous, and to have a knife that only works in one hand is terribly frustrating. So moving on along, we have a heavier duty pocket clip on this one. We do have our lanyard hole kind of hid in the back of the knife. You'll have to work a little bit to get your big paracord through there, but it will go through. And might have to thread it a little bit, but it will go through. We've got a little more styling on this one than we normally have, but it's still Todd Knife and Tool motif throughout. We do have the stuff in the back spacer as usual, and our landing pads up there, or landing pad up there for your finger. Everything came out really good. I mean, Bestech really killed it. Now these are down below the handle slabs, and that is so whenever you get it like this, it's there for you. Whenever you get it like this, it's not riding on you, but it's still there for you. And as you turn your grip around to do the various grips, the ones it needs to be there for, it is. The ones it doesn't need to be there for, it won't get in your hands. This up here, big old hairy jimping, is actually just a bit softer than previous knives on this one, but still very nice. We have a fuller in the blade. It's more a rounded fuller, not a squared off fuller. So it's a little softer than some of the previous knives. And a little stylized there in your forward finger choil. And that forward finger choil is that big so that you can get a full grip on this thing and put as much torque as you can and stay safe, because we got a blade stop there for you. Now people are going to get all wrapped around the axle because we put a blade stop there and we didn't put a sharpening choil in. If you have followed Todd Knife and Tool, we've explained that a lot. The reason we don't do that is you stick this in something and you have a big old sharpening choil in there, then the blade can get stuck as it comes out or get caught. And it's annoying whenever you're trying to get that Amazon box open. It's annoying whenever you're doing other things where you don't want things to be annoying with your knife. So we don't put it in there. If you want one, Dremels are cheap, guys. There you go. That's about as good as I'm going to get on that. We may have some knives with sharpening choils in the future. That is a distinct possibility. But on the models that don't have one, it's not there for a reason, and you're not going to talk us into putting it there. We have listened to the community, and you guys seem to be about 50-50 on that, and we land on the side that doesn't want it there. So there you go. And that is one thing I do want to talk about real quick, and we'll get a weight on them too, because I want you to see the difference between the carbon fiber and the full titanium. But whenever you guys look at these knives and they make you mad because, or make you happy because we did this or we did that, or they make you mad because we did this or we did that, here's how this works. Whenever we come up with a shape, not always, but many times we throw that shape out there on Instagram at toddknifeandtool.com or at zelrick42.com, and we get your feedback. And your feedback, positive, negative, change this, change that, all of that makes its way into consideration for what becomes the final production knife. So, and it gets weeded out. So, like on the sharpening choil thing, we listened and we saw what people were saying, and it come down to what appeared to be around a 50-50 split. We decided we were on the side where we didn't want a sharpening choil, so on these models, we didn't put one. Now, other things come up like that, like the landing pads back there. That seems to be like a 90 some odd % like on those. Other people wanted bigger forward finger choils, and we kind of agreed with them on a big knife. A big forward finger choil is a good thing. If you lose just a smidge of blade edge, that's okay if you can get more torque and more force down on what you're doing. So that was one of the design tenets of this knife. We listen to what you're saying. We're not just designing knives in a vacuum. We're designing knives with your help, and we thoroughly appreciate your help. Alright, we're going to do one titanium and one carbon fiber show side to see what the difference is in weight. Alright, we're on grams. This is a full titanium knife. And we're at 141.8, 5 ounces, and 709 carats. I'll go back to the ounces. Whenever I weighed it earlier, it was under 5 ounces. Maybe it changed. Let's weigh the black one just to see. Oh, that's black and carbon fiber. There's all black. See? If you get all black, because of the displacement of particles around the black, you lose 0.05 ounces. Black is important, guys. It makes things lighter and faster. Alright, so here's the carbon fiber one, and we are at 4.33, so we lose 3/4 of an ounce, and that is 122.9 grams. We'll put this one back up here. So we lose 20 or 38, or, wow, my math is bad, 18 grams. Wow, guys, it's getting late. I shouldn't be doing this. And the other thing that I have heard all over social media and to my face is that knife won't flip. It's got too small a flipper tab. Just won't work. Okay, well, we've talked about that a lot here on the channel, but if you're new to the channel, I'm going to fill you in real quick on how this works. Flipper tabs, force multipliers, you know, fulcrums, all those things come into play. And here is the very simplified version of it. If you put the flipper tab on this side of the center of your pivot, the further it goes to this side to an extent, the smaller it can be. This flipper tab is about 4 millimeters. Flipper tab on some of the other knives are about 3.5 millimeters, which is 156 thousandths or less. So they work because of their placement, and they're placed there so that you can do this and run your hand down in your pocket and not get hit with a flipper tab, and because there's no reason to have a big old flipper tab if you don't need one. So there is my little rant on flipper tabs. Some of you have heard it 100 times by now, but there you go. We'll throw this thing in the Levi's, and there you go. Sticks out a little bit. It's supposed to. It is not supposed to be a deep carry knife. If you want a deep carry version, well, you're going to have to make your own pocket clip, because we're not going to. That is an argument back and forth constantly. This is a big knife. It's not designed to be deep carry, because if you're carrying this in the office, you're obviously carrying too much knife. We designed one of these for that. But guys, this has been the Shodan. I'm going to stop it right there. I could talk for a long time about all the little design things, all the little things that Bestech did that we really appreciate. And we do appreciate our partners right now, Bestech and We Knife Company. They have been very good to us, and we hope you enjoy the Shodan, the Roxy 4, the Malware, and some upcoming knives. We've got 2-3 more upcoming knives that are going to be fun. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.